Chuck Todd is NBC's political director and moderator of Meet the Press. Chuck, good morning. It's great to see you. So ostensibly, this speech from former President Trump was about 2022, getting people out to vote in the midterm elections. Right. But the question on everyone's mind in that room and across the country is whether he will run again in 2024. What's your assessment there?
Look, I think he amps up all of the talk about 2024 as the investigation amps up in Manhattan and in the state attorney general's office in New York. And I think a lot of this is tied there. The more he's under legal threat, the more he wants to look like a political candidate and put himself out there, because he wants it all to be seen through the lens of politics, pure and simple. So whether he's an almost active candidate, thinking about it candidate, that gives him, in his mind, a bit of a shield, at least something to use to try to push back on what are serious legal threats. So I think a lot of this, if he didn't have these legal threats, I don't know if he would be as aggressive on the 2024 talk.
Whether or not he runs, his grip on the party is secure for now. Chuck, let's talk about the sitting president. Joe Biden headed to the UK on Wednesday for a big couple of weeks. He's going to be at the G7, the NATO summit, and then down the road in Geneva talking with Russian President Vladimir Putin. What jumps out to you about this trip? Obviously, the date with Putin is circled on the calendar. Yeah, it is all things Putin. I mean, look, there is the reestablishing better relations with our normal European allies obviously is going to be a big deal. And the NATO meeting, trying to reestablish there. And I think Turkey is a huge problem for NATO, a huge sort of thorn as a member of NATO. And certainly that's certainly on the agenda. But look, it is Putin, because he is providing this safe haven to these cyber terrorists that are putting us under increasing attack here. And look, Putin is keeps throwing high, hard ones right back at the United States. In his little economic speech that he gave at his own economic forum that he threw over the weekend, he took the side of the January 6th insurrectionists, basically. So he's clearly trying to stoke things here. So, look, Joe Biden has said he wants to calm things down. Can you calm things down and work with Vladimir Putin? Or is he a guy that clearly, no matter what you do to try to curtail his behavior, he's going to continue to try to undermine the West? I think that's obviously the meeting circled on the calendar for me. And I think that the trickiest thing for Joe Biden and the biggest test he's faced yet on the international stage. Yeah. And the first meeting between the two since Joe Biden called Vladimir Putin a killer should be an interesting sit down there. Quickly, Chuck, before you go, while the president is overseas, the negotiations will continue over infrastructure. I feel like you and I have been talking about this for months now. Where are we in this process? How's it going to end up? Well, look, I think the official negotiations with the sort of the larger chunk of Republicans that claim they wanted a deal, that's about to end, right? This is what Shelley Moore Capito. But look, now it's about engaging Joe Manchin, right? They're trying to figure out how to get Joe Manchin. And I think Manchin is going to end up putting himself in a caucus with Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins. So when Manchin says he wants bipartisan support, that's what he's likely means. So at some point, that's where these negotiations head. We're just not there yet. And he's standing firm on the fact that he does not want to blow through the filibuster. Chuck Todd, thanks so much. Good to see you. We will look for much more this morning on Meet the Press when Chuck talks with his guests about cybercrime as the new national security threat.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.